Hello there, YouTubers. This is CD Mangaka giving you guys some Capture the Flag gameplay on the map Grid in Call of Duty Black Ops. I'm going to be running the flag like a crazy maniac who decides that, hey, the objective is everything about life. I got my lightweight on, got my steady aim, MP5K extended mag combo on, I got my Marathon Pro on. We're going to be running the show on the Express playlist because Ghost sucks! That's just a little joke. I don't mean to offend anybody out there like I would, though, because like what, 90 people watch my stuff? Doesn't matter, though. Today's commentary is going to be about something that I found was really cool. And I think everybody could find it really cool, but I'm going to find it really cool for a secondary reason. And this is also related to video games as well, so, we can all relate to it. It's pretty cool. I read an article on Yahoo a few days ago, and the headline of the article was, like, video gamers, online gamers, crack AIDS enzyme puzzle. And let me, before I go further on, let me explain. When it comes to figuring out how a virus causes a disease causes a disease by using enzymes. Enzymes is another word for proteins. We all kind of know what proteins are. There's these amino acid chains that interact, that fit in specific other parts of cells and cause certain chemical reactions to take place. That's kind of the gist of it. I may not be accurate right there, but that's off the top of my head how I can explain it, and it's roughly correct, roughly. And when it comes to treating diseases, if you can block the protein, you can, either reduce symptoms of a disease or even prevent a disease itself. That's how, I believe that's how people create vaccines, is that they study a virus, they discover, proteins that it uses to, cause the symptoms of the disease. Like you look at the influenza virus, or let's bury at polio. Once scientists who were digging around with polio were able to figure out the shape of a key protein in it, they were able to develop a vaccination that block that protein, so now it is impossible for you to get polio if you've had that vaccine, because it blocks that amino acid, that protein from interacting with your body of polio, and that's how they prevent polio. So these and as we all should know, HIV is a big virus that causes a huge disease that's really problematic today. HIV causes AIDS, autoimmune deficiency syndrome, and basically what that does is it shuts down your immune system. The virus itself attacks your white blood cells that fight off diseases, and it kills them. And there's no way to stop that from happening. And if you get AIDS after contracting HIV through various means, you're gonna be within like 15 years, you're gonna be able to die from having the common cold because your body can't fight it because it has no immune system. And HIV's been around for about 30 years. Okay, and from that time, scientists have had a really tough time trying to, figure out the proteins with the HIV virus, because when it comes to looking at cells, scientists use microscopes, and microscopes produce 3D images of cells and the proteins of them. But proteins are these very complex three-dimensional shapes. Proteins' shapes are determined by the amino acid chain of that protein, and each amino acid will, shape the protein. And you get these crazy, it's ridiculous how crazy these images are. Look up like protein shape, and you'll get some really crazy stuff. All right. And so it's been really difficult for scientists to figure out these protein shapes of the what's the name of that disease? Retroviruses. And then the retroviruses includes HIV. HIV is part of the retrovirus family. Now, these online video gamers, though, were able to figure out a protein shape. The University of Washington created this video game program called Fold It. All right, it's like fold and the word it, but combined together. And what this video game program is that players of this game can create protein shapes by linking chains of amino acids together. So in a video game form, you can put together a 3D image of a protein by putting together various amino acid chains, and you get various shapes. With the context of a video game, alright, it's used by people in a university. Hello, lag fail right here, by the way. Anyways. And within 3 weeks, alright, they started this group of people, alright, who play video games at the University of Washington. They set their sights on figuring out a specific enzyme, a complex molecular monomeric protease enzyme, which is just a scientific name, but they focused on a specific enzyme that was a major part of the retrovirus family. And within 3 weeks, these video game players were able to figure out the shape of that enzyme, which is a key enzyme in the retrovirus family, which includes HIV. They figured that out in 3 weeks, which scientists have not been able to do after 3 to 4 decades of research. How cool is that? And this is a big deal because this is a big step. All right. Now, I'm not saying that we are at a point where we can, but maybe because of this step, because of this discovery of this specific enzyme shape, maybe we could be within a decade to 2 decades of figuring out a possible vaccine for HIV, rather than say like 5 decades or a whole century away. We've made a huge leap because of a video game. And the reason why that's cool for me, the secondary reason, is because I have to laugh at people who bag on video games as this immature little waste of time. All right, that it produces, it makes people more violent, and it's a waste of time, makes people fat and lazy. It doesn't do any of that. Okay, video games is a hobby and a pastime, but it has some real world application now. It has video games can make society better. If this little stepping stone, if this little discovery is a stepping stone to future treatment of AIDS, then video games have benefited society in a huge way. And there are many more ways you can do that. And I have to laugh at the ignorant people who think of video games as nothing more than this time waster. It's so much more than how many movies out there can say, because of this movie, we were able to, treat a disease. No movie can do that. And video games are maturing, they're growing up, they're more than a pastime now. They've apparently helped society, and furthermore, they're a storytelling medium. Now when you look at a video game review, a major point of that video game review is, the story. How's the story in the video game, And there's so much other stuff. There's more than just being a violent game, I mean, and it's funny, people will bag on a violent video game, but they don't bag on like a violent movie, like a summer blockbuster. They treat that with more respect than like a Call of Duty. Call of Duty is a summer blockbuster video game as far as the presentation style goes. I mean, come on, it's like a Michael Bay film. Okay, why doesn't it get trashed, by the general society like movies do? That's stupid. But video games are growing up and maturing, and that's really cool, and I find that awesome. We've gone, a lot more. We've gone from hitting a ball back and forth on a screen, boing, boing, pong, to discovering the shape of proteins. That is cool. I mean, video games are growing up and maturing, and society should recognize that, in my opinion. It honestly should. There is so much that we can do with a video game or some kind of video game simulator that we were not able to do before. And anyone out there who trashes video games and say they're just a waste of time, they're an ignorant buffoon who doesn't realize the good potential that a video game has. So that's the point I want to get across. I mean, video games are growing up. I mean, people can make money off of just playing video games now. That is cool. Video games are able to help with psychological treatments. They're a part of learning how to do certain things because of simulators. That's just awesome. And what do you guys think? Are video games maturing? Or how do you think? Are there other ways that video games are maturing and how they are helping society? Bring in some case studies or bring in some overall studies that you found on the internet, or some just really cool things, and then say to yourself, how far have video games come this past 30, 40 years of existence that we've had of them? So this is CD Mangaka, and that's today's commentary. I hope you all enjoyed it. I have a Battlefield Bad Company 2 live commentary. I posted up Wednesday. Go check that stuff out. Go to my channel page in the upload section. It has the word Tank Wars in the title. Go check that stuff out. Really awesome. I hope you enjoyed the commentary, guys. Have a great day.